Hello, hello, good morning, and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. It's still dark out there, but the sun is coming soon. We have two Irish blended whiskeys. The first I'm going to show you is Teeling, established in, it says 1782, since 1782. Well, really since 2012. There was an old Teeling distillery back in the 1780s, but that went out of business a long time ago, and members of the family brought it back in 2012 and then opened their own distillery in 2015. But it's a family with a heritage of distilling. Now they like the Teeling small, and it's showing a phoenix, rising from the ashes. You get it, like Jean Grey. I mean, like Teeling. They went away and they came back. Just like Marvel Girl. All right. Anyway, the Spirit of Dublin is from Dublin, Ireland, and the Irish Republic. Now, there's a lot of interesting things about this product. It's non-chill filtered, no age statement. It's 46 proof. Most Irish whiskeys be 40 proof. I'm sorry, 46% alcohol. 46% alcohol. Most Irish whiskeys are 40%. 86 proof versus, I'm going to get it right, 43% alcohol. No, I can't think straight. 86 proof versus 80 for most Irish whiskeys, meaning 43% alcohol versus 40. Sorry for the confusion. Good morning, Ron. Good morning to you, BC's Beer Reviews. Oh, BC's Beer Reviews. Now, I was suggesting that if it gets too cold in the Detroit area, that BC could do videos with James on Sundays doing pan-fried things or whatever. James didn't seem too thrilled with that idea, but to me, you're still cooking the meat, and I've done a lot of good pan-fried meat. Put some olive oil, like for instance, in some steak and all, grill it, and put it in the Magnolite pan with some diced onions and peppers and all. It comes out nice to me. It comes out nice. You understand? All right, now, but anyway, in the summer, yeah, it's nice to be outside by the grill, I suppose. In the dead of winter, in November, December, January, February, March, in Detroit or south of Detroit, no, I don't think that's too cool. But anyway, now here it's cold over here right now. I mean, cold in a relative sense, 50 degrees for Louisiana. It's cool. This is also, okay, what else about this whiskey? Let's get on with it. It's a 75-25 blend ratio, 3-1, just like Seagram 7 Crown. 75% grain alcohol, grain whiskey, odorless, colorless. That's going to give the body to it. Can a blend master tell different grain alcohols one from another? Yeah, they can, because they're trained. People like you and I off the street, we probably just say, oh, it tastes like corn whiskey, corn liquor, grain neutral spirits. That's all we'd say. Yeah, if we kept studying it and whatnot, we'd learn about mouthfeel and consistency and the alcohol exit drippings and all. Yeah, then we would probably be an expert. Yo, Ron, was it? Yeah. I don't know what he's talking about. Yes, I got a cast iron plate that I can use on top of the stove. There you go. There you go. So they age the grain alcohol, grain whiskey separately, and the 25% of the volume is the single malt whiskey, the barley malt whiskey. They age that separately for however long they age it. Then they say for almost a year, like 8 months, I believe they said, they blend it all together, put it all together in one barrel, but it's rum cask, so it's finished in rum casks. Pretty cool, huh? Now it's going to give it a rum finish. Douhans, well, all I know is triple distilled, like most Irish whiskeys. Blended Irish whiskey, product of Ireland. I bought this at Walmart. It's all gone now. Walmart had this on the shelf for $19.99. I paid $19.99. It never did sell, and it was covered with dust and all. 2 weeks later, after I paid $19.99, they had it discounted to $9. I could have saved $10. Oh, I didn't know they were going to discount it. I should have known. But how do you know? And if you're not there that day, you're not going to see it, because when they drop it to and put that yellow tag and drop it to $9, well, it's going to sell out in a few hours. So all right, he's just going to keep making the same comment. But unfortunately, you know, social media attracts the lesser lights of the planet Earth. Anyway, can't help that. There's a big write-up on the back here. There's no website. Forget the website. There was a website called Rebel Spirits, but the Rebel Spirits got bought out and it's all gone. Imported by Rebel Spirits, Gardena, California. A beautifully light and delicate blend of Irish whiskies, all triple distilled and matured in oak casks. This recipe captures the pleasant and approachable characteristics of an Irish whiskey: soft, slightly toffee sweet, gently floral, and subtly oaky. This whiskey elegantly coats the palate. A fine display of traditional Irish craft and a truly fantastic whiskey. I don't think it's as good as they're making it out to be, but it's pretty nice, actually. Distilled and matured in Ireland. Okay. Doesn't say bottled in Ireland. It says distilled and matured. It might be bottled in California. Let me try to look at these comments with my glasses. Kevin says, thanks for the radio show, Jay. I appreciate it. It's always nice to listen to while driving home. I'm driving home. Yeah, these videos are more like audios, because that's what they are. I watch a lot of beer reviews, but mostly I'm listening to them. I mean, I see the beer, they say, look, you know, and I'll say, okay, I'm listening. Some people do a good job. A lot of people do a good job. Some people don't, because they'll just mention the rating in passing. They go on and on about they went to a picnic at the park and their grandma had a rash, and they argue about the price of hairspray. And then they'll mention sometime in the end of the video, oh yeah, I give this 85, and then go on. Or they'll give it a rating that you don't understand. Like, I give it a 3.5 out of 5. It's awesome. Well, 3.5 out of 5, that means 1.5 is missing. But they never tell you what their parameters are. Like, well, what does that mean? Like, what's a 4? What's a 4.5? So then you start wondering, like, and then you look at their about section about their videos. They never explain how they rate. This is a real cork. So you can't really go by their scores. You just have to go by their just if they say, yeah, it's pretty good, or it's awesome, or it's okay, or this stuff's bad, or I can't drink. You know, you got to kind of evaluate according to that, because you just can't get a specific intelligible score from some of these people. Oh, I definitely glance at your videos, but when I'm driving, I just make sure. Yeah, well, yeah, naturally, if you're driving, can't be looking at phones. But you say, well, I see everybody looking at their phones when they drive. Why don't the police pull them over? Well, the sheriff's department and the police, they're all looking at their phones. So why would they? You know, every time I see police today, they're either on their laptop doing something, or they're looking on their phones, or they're parked talking to another cop. I'm not being critical. I'm just making an observation. If that's what I see, then that's what I'm going to, you know, I see it. People join my hangouts and they barely paying attention. Like, they're part of the hangout. They'll talk about their liqueur. Oh, this liqueur uses orange slices, blah, 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 blah. As soon as they're done, I look and they're back on their phone, back on their addiction. So they probably don't know what the hangout said themselves, because they're not paying attention. You say, but that's like rude. It's just typical. Now, I probably seem rude when I'm part of hangouts, because if I'm listening to somebody talk, I'll start daydreaming. I can't help it. It's like when I go to, when I used to be Baptist and go to church, the preacher always make these marathon sermons and go on and on and on. And I would sit there and just draw like on the church bulletin thing with a pen, just draw. But I'm listening. He probably was looking at me thinking, look at him drawing, and he ain't paying attention. But that was the only way I could pay attention. And then I don't know why that is. It's the same thing when I was in college and high school. I would doodle while the professor was talking. I paid perfect attention. But they probably were thinking, oh, look at this, not paying attention. But they probably figured I was paying attention when I would answer half the questions in the class and then make A's and B's on all the exams. So it's just my way of paying attention. But when I see people looking at their phone and all, I'm like, they're not paying attention. Because then later they'll say, what now? What? I'm like, yeah, you weren't paying attention. I might be folding clothes during a video, but you know what I'm saying? But I'm concentrating. But anyway, all right. Beardy Beer Review says morning and afternoon from the United Kingdom. Same to you. It's early morning here. I turned in my smartphone for a flip phone. That way I'm not distracted and can actually enjoy my life. I've been saying that to people. I don't think smartphones are very smart. Now, this one's non-chill filtered, so you might notice that it's got some particles in it. This one is straw gold, and this one is a little more darker gold. That's beautiful English, isn't it? A little more darker gold. I think I'm good at English. And because I went to college and I took English 4 times, didn't want to take it once, but they made me do it. So I always made A's, made 4 straight A's in English. I always sit right to the front, in front of the professor. I would always do that, sit right in the front. And I would, they were kind of funny. Some of them, make you laugh, and I'd laugh, and they appreciated me laughing at their jokes. And others just be, bored to death. I just sit up there and figure, well, I got to go to college. I got to do these courses. I want to graduate as fast as possible. I may as well try to enjoy it. And I did. Got out of college in 3.5 years. Graduated from high school in 86. Graduated from college in 89. And that was my goal, to graduate in the 80s. And I did it. And then I got the master's degree. I made straight A's in that. 4.0, baby. You say, yeah, but you were taking history. That's what you do all the time, read history. You're right. It wasn't really a challenge. But I did what they told me to do. They said, read these books. They gave me a list of like 50 books. And I read them all. I think there was one I couldn't find it. Like I literally couldn't find it. But I read them all. Front to back. I would read 100 pages a day for 3 years, 100 pages a day. And when I took my comprehensive exam, where you got to sit in a room with all the college history professors asking you questions for 3 hours. Well, I guess it was an hour and a half. Just coming up with questions. Well, what about this? What about that? And I was nailing them, so they were happy, I remember it was like they were trying to get you, One professor says, well, what were the 3 main battles of the 100 Years' War? I remember thinking, I don't know anything about that war. Except they made a lot of movies about it. I was like, man, they got me now. But for some reason, I just said, Crécy, Poitiers, and Agincourt. Oh, they couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I don't know where that information came from, but it was there, and they were like, oh, yeah. Then they hired me. I was hired on the spot to teach history at that university, Southeastern Louisiana University. And I did that for 12 years, off-campus courses. Never filled out a touch of paperwork. Never filled out an application. Never got an evaluation. They knew I knew what I was doing. All right, anyway. This smells like grain. All right, now listen now. Most of these Irish whiskeys will be like American blended whiskeys, 80-20 blend ratio. They say that on the Teeling website. They say, unlike most Irish whiskeys, 80-20, just like the United States. Over here at Teeling, ours is 3-1. That means 75 to 25. So they have a higher percentage of straight barley malt whiskey, single malt whiskey, just like Seagram 7 Crown has a higher percentage of straight bourbon. That's why Seagram 7 Crown tastes better than all the other American blended whiskey. Where do you get your news from nowadays? It isn't very easy to find non-biased, politically leaning news articles now. I usually just listen to CBS News. You say, well, they're so biased. I know. So anything they say, I just believe the opposite. You know what I'm saying? Like if they say, oh, this world leader is an evil, terrible person, that means he's probably pretty good. And they're just picking on him, you know. So it's not really that hard. Says Burley Sullivan. I don't read a lot of articles on LewRockwell.com, LEW Rockwell.com. They're very biased also, but they admit they're biased. That's their they're kind of like openly biased. Now this one smells more pungent, I have to say. Now you would figure 43% alcohol versus 40, you'd get it, but I mean that's not that big of a percentage difference. Okay, so this one smells much more yeasty and pungent and funky monkey nose. I can't pin down what that is. It's almost like peat, compost. You say, that's Scotch. I know. This is Irish. I got that. But it has that smell. And this one's more clean, just like bread dough. You say, but that's barley whiskey, malt whiskey. Single malt whiskey tastes like bread dough. I know. And that's why I think this is the Teelings. But you know what? I don't really know that. I got ears, Frank. I hear things. Let's go with the taste. Cheers to your morning. There's the daylight coming up. Well, first thing I noticed about this one is a lot of wood. You can taste the barrel, the sugar sweetness. So you get a lot of wood, oak wood barrels, very clearly there, and a lot of sugar water. You say sugar. You're telling me that whiskey tastes like sugar. Yes, in my opinion, whiskey tends to taste like rock candy and sugar water. Bourbon whiskey tends to taste like either candy corn or yellow corn grits, which I have a bag of that in the pantry. And if I fix those grits, see, in the South, we fix breakfast. In the North, they prepare breakfast, you see. But it'll taste just like bourbon, you know, without the barrel char, but that's it. Not as much sugar water, but it's still there, of course. And wood barrel, yes. Bread dough. Now, you know the funny thing here. The one in my left hand smelled like bread dough, but the one in my right tastes like bread dough. You say, well, what's the price of Teelings? The Douhans, $19.99. The Teelings, $38.99. $19 difference. Do I taste the $19 difference right now? No, indeed. I don't taste a $9 difference. I'm barely tasting a difference. I did not pay $38.99 for Teelings. I don't know why a local store had it for the insanely low price of $14.99. But I didn't ask. I just bought. You see what I'm saying? If I look up a whiskey online and Total Wine & More, Walmart, other this place, that place, got it for $32 at the lowest. One place in Minnesota or somewhere had it for $32.99. But everybody else got it $38.99, $38.99, $34.99, $35.99, $36.99. But Mathern's got it $14.99. I'm buying it. Simple as that. Now, my friend David was like, why you didn't buy me one? I was like, I told you, I don't know what you want. He said, just buy it. He said, look, this is the rule for now. He told me, this is the rule for now on. If you see a deal like that, Don't call me. Don't try to contact me. Just buy it. I will pay you back. No, whether it's tequila, rum. Well, I know he doesn't like rum, so I wouldn't buy rum. But tequila or whiskey. Brandy, he's indifferent to brandy. He doesn't dislike it, but he's never saying, oh, I can't wait to drink brandy. You understand? But so that'll be my practice going forward. If I see it, I'm buying it for him, and he'll pay me back. You say, well, what if he never paid you back? Well, then I wouldn't do it anymore. Simple as that. So long, Mel. Have a good trip. Yes. I try to tell you, man, no kiss. All right. Well, these are both very good. And I have to admit, they're both very interesting. They have unique little particular qualities. This one's got that little, like I said, peaty compost. You say smoky? No. In no way smoky. But there's like a compost, like a rotted organic material. And I don't mean that in a bad way, because I don't know how to describe what I'm tasting, but it's something that's there. You'd never taste it in a bourbon, and you never taste it in a Canadian whiskey. No way, no how, no way. No. But here, if you go over to the Gaelic world, the Britannic world, you may find that it's in the whiskey. Body is medium for both. The finish is medium long. Yada, 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 like to say on Seinfeld. All right. So your Four Loko reviews are great. My friends make fun of me that I like to try them. Yeah, the Four Loko is, I mean, if you look at it in the right context, you can't be so like fuddy-duddy about it. Some people that do beer reviews would never in their life dream of doing Four Loko. Unless it was a slam video where they just made fun of it, to get cheap laughs, like, let me review this product, But over the years, I realized I'm not so good. I'm not like so important that I can't review Four Loko. Okay, I know what it is. I realize what I'm dealing with. So, I mean, just review it. And as it turns out, I had misjudged it. It was a lot better than I had believed. Of course, I made a mistake of drinking too much before, and it made me feel a lot worse than I normally feel. But does Four Loko have a legitimate place in the world? I would question that. I don't know why it's produced. I think it's really focusing on alcoholism and problem drinking and party drinking and all of that. But I cannot definitively say that. Maybe they really are very dedicated to the most quality products, and they just think people want to. And the can does say a serving is 5 ounces. It does say that clearly, a 5-ounce serving, and it insists that you share it. It says you should share this. So it is saying you shouldn't drink it alone, or so. I guess I shouldn't say that. These products are legitimate. You don't have to question their raison d'etre and all of that. I think I prefer the one in my left hand, even though it's sugar water. I'm getting more bread dough. It's coming out. Like I said, the one in my right hand had the bread dough, but this one's coming out more and more and more. But you know what? I'm not sure which is which, because the Douhans, remember that Douhans, I remember in the past when I reviewed it, had a lot of bread dough flavor. Do I think it's higher than 20% single malt whiskey? No, I don't. On the other hand, I really don't know anything about it because they don't say anything except it's triple distilled. That's all they say. And it's produced, distilled and blended in Ireland, which means we know it's bottled in America because they're not saying it's bottled in Ireland. Bottled in Gardena, California, more than likely. I don't even think it's still produced. All right, well, the news is coming on shortly. Which one tastes better? Now, Teeling, they hype it up. Go look at their website. Put the link below. They hype it up, boy. I'm telling you, they just talk about it's the greatest thing. 46% alcohol, non-chill filtered, rum barrel finish, and on and on. Notice I didn't mention rum barrel at any point in this video until just now. You know why? I don't think I'm detecting it. Oh. A little bit now. I think this one's a little stronger. Therefore, it's the Teelings. Is it better? That's possible. It's possibly better. But I can't sit here and say it's better because I'm not tasting really any better product. Which means what? You know what it means. If two whiskeys are taste challenged blind and one is $19 cheaper, then and you can't taste one from the other, automatically the cheaper one wins by default, and that's what's happening. So Douhans wins. Well, I didn't expect this, but Robert the Whiskey Scout told me last night I wouldn't be so sure. So Douhans, the shocking upset. I was hoping there'd be a shocking upset last night. South Florida beating Cincinnati. Of course, I knew better. When I turned it on after doing Fandango Friday, I said, look at this blowout. It was a runaway, as expected. Hello, Ron. Hello to you, Maxwell. So I'm going to say this is the Douhans, and it does not taste better. But on the other hand, it doesn't taste worse, and it's $19 cheaper, so it's going to win. It is the Douhans. Well, whew, I got it. I was fairly confident, though. I was fairly confident. The Teelings is unique. You do start getting a little strange finish on it, like a rum barrel type situation. But it's not profound. I mean, it's a narrow margin of flavor. But it's there. But I wouldn't pay $19 for that little slice of flavor, that little scintilla of flavor. But I didn't. I paid $14.99. Haha. All right. So we got Patty's tomorrow. Monday, we've got Tullamore DEW. We got Bushmills Original, Bushmills Black Bush, Bushmills Red Bush. And I think they're going to all be exciting taste challenges. But I don't know how Teelings is going to do. It remains to be seen. Thanks for watching this video production.